So when my sister was 9, she got her first period. I was only 7 and it was only my brothers and my dad at home. So me being the only other girl, she called me in the bathroom when it happened and showed me this huge fucking blood clot that fell on the floor. We didn't know what it was and thought she had a baby at home. We named it Chase. So we picked it up and showed it to our brothers, saying it was a child that was going to grow up. So when it was dinner, all of us set a place for it at the dinner table, and when my mom got home she saw it on the table and panicked, yelling what TF was on the table and who put it there. My sister stood up proud as shit, saying it was her child since it came out her cat face. She got put in her room for the whole week and my mom... Okay, so this is my story. So one time at school I got a horrible stomach pain, like I felt like I was literally dying, so I told the teacher and she told me I was fine. Like, you freaking crusty old lump. No, I'm not. I'm literally crying and crouched over in pain, nearly screaming. And the whole class is staring at me. I felt so embarrassed. I threw up twice in the trash can and the freaking musty, crusty, forever ugly, stupid biatch said I was fine. So in my next class I told the other teacher, and she said I looked horrible and pale, so she sent me to the nurse. Long story short, I ended up throwing up all over that freaking office and had to be picked up cause I had food poisoning. I didn't go to school for a week and the freaking teacher got fired a week later for student neglect.
When I was in 4th grade, one slept over at my best friend's house with a bunch of our friends. I woke up in the middle of the night to see that I had literally had diarrhea in my sleep. I didn't know what to do and just went out and changed my panties. When I came back, all of my friends had woken up and started asking me if I had shit myself. I said no and told them I had just gotten a midnight snack with Nutella, claiming that I had dropped it in the bed. They didn't believe me and wanted me to prove it. Anyways, I then ate a piece of my own fucking shit to prove it, and we kinda went to bed again. Like 5 years later, I confessed to one of the friends that I had fucking shit myself. And she told me that they knew it was shit and just wanted to see if I would eat it. Fucking bastard bitches.
When I was in 8th grade, I was in class sitting next to my 2 best friends, who were both black. You may be confused as why I said that, but it will make sense later in the story. Anyways, we were reading a book that had lots of racial slurs in it. I was reading to the class and I saw the N-word on the page. I told my white, male, middle-aged teacher that I didn't want to say it, but he kept insisting that I did. He started screaming because I wasn't participating in class activities, just because I wouldn't say the N-word, when he started threatening to get me expelled and telling me I wouldn't get into college. I threw the book at him, shouted "Fuck you, you racist piece of shit," and walked out with my 2 friends. He got fired the next day. In 6th grade, me and my friend, let's call her Sophie, walked to school every day and I was always late. She was getting really sick of me being late all the time and threatened to not walk with me anymore if I was late one more time. I was late one more time and I was so scared that she would not walk with me anymore, so I pretended that on my way to her house a man tried to kidnap me. I love attention, so I told my mom when I got home, but I didn't want her to worry too much, so I told her Sophie was with me and he tried to kidnap us both, and she believed me and was so scared and called the school. I had to give my mom a detailed description of what happened and what the man looked like and what car he was in. The next day at school I was in history class and I got called out of class by the head teacher. He took me to a room and in the room was 4 cops. When I was 5, I saw this boy and his name was Ollie and I would play with him sometimes. My parents thought he was just an imaginary friend, so they didn't really care. A couple years later, I saw him and I had a little brother after my brother was born. My parents started to see Ollie too. Sometimes things happened to my brother, like his toys disappearing or his drawings being ripped up. Ollie would still come in my room and play, but it was different. He wasn't really himself, he seemed mad. I felt uncomfortable and scared around him. So then fast forward 8 years to now. My grandma moved into that house a couple years ago and she said that sometimes she sees Ollie hanging out in my old room. This one is short, but when I was around 8, I distracted my grandma with some Christmas lights on someone's house and I tripped her on purpose in the middle of the road. So I have this music teacher and he's male and has been my teacher for 4 years. In 2012, he went to jail for a month because he was accused of touching girls at school, but he was released because he wasn't found guilty. Everyone says that he is innocent, but every time he marks girls' assignments, first he looks at the girls' biddies and curves. Then he marks them with the maximum grade they can get. He even looks more insistent when a girl has a black bra underneath a white t-shirt, or when a girl is dressed in leggings. But when he marks the boys' assessments, he gives them a lower grade also. We have a school choir and guess what? There are only girls there. OMG, I think he's a. I was 11 or 12 and it was Christmas and I was at a family dinner. I was on my period, so I had to go to the bathroom to change my pad. Once I was done, I realized that there was no garbage can in the bathroom and I was young and dumb, so I was embarrassed to go out and throw it away in the kitchen, so I had the good idea to throw it in the toilet. Spoiler alert, don't do that. And I flushed the toilet, but it didn't leave, so I had to pick it up and I rolled it in toilet paper and went out of the bathroom. When I went out, my aunt saw me and asked why I was being weird. I was hiding half of my body and the package behind a wall, and I never told her, but she obviously knew why I was being so weird. I ran to the kitchen and finally threw my pad out. Luckily, now I'm not ashamed of anything related to periods and think that they should be normalized. I was an exchange student in Ghana and I spent a year there, and one time, I accidentally broke a ruler and the teacher brought me to the front of the class and smacked me. She made the whole class sing a song they sing whenever a student misbehaves. I was crying while they were calling me a vandalizer skull. Okay, so this happened a few weeks ago when I was staying at a place in Sweden. Me and my family were going out to eat in the afternoon, so we just walked around, and at the time, I was wearing jeans and I had shaved my cat face like days earlier, so it started itching really badly. I told my mom I wanted to go to a shop that was around the corner. She said sure, so I went into the shop and stood in the corner to itch my cat face. And then a staff member walked by and asked if I was okay. He saw that my hands were shoved down my pants and I said yeah, I'm alright. A few minutes later, my family and I went to the same shop, and of course the same bitch-ass stick-looking tomato-ass stalker staff had to be the one to help us.